Hello students, welcome back to Educon online teaching platform. We had already discussed some important problems by naming as part 1. Now we are going to do very good questions basing on Newton's law on forces and translatory motion. So this is very important for your practice session, ma. Let us start the questions, right? The first question is, a cylinder of mass m and radius r is resting on a horizontal platform. First, let us draw the diagram. This is a horizontal platform. On this platform, we are having a cylinder. Let us consider this one as a cylinder. This is the axis of cylinder. The platform with its axis fixed along y-axis, okay, and free to rotate about its own axis. That means the cylinder was fixed along y-axis, and it can rotate along z and x-axis. So this can rotate in along x-axis. Let this direction be y-axis. That is, this direction is y-axis, and its direction is x-axis. Okay. The direction of motion along x-axis is given by the formula x equal to a cos omega t. If there is no slipping, what is the maximum torque acting on the cylinder during its motion? So we know in rotatory motion, torque tau is equal to I into alpha, and tangential acceleration, because along the x-axis కదా అడిగింది. So tangential acceleration at will be given by the formula r alpha, and moment of inertia of cylinder is I equal to half m r square. These are the three important terms we require. So from the formula, torque tau is equal to I alpha. I is half m r square, and alpha can be written as, from this one alpha can be written as alpha is equal to at by r. So at by r, right? That is equal to 1 r will get cancelled. You will get tau as half m r into tangential acceleration. Let this will be equation number 1. Now, given the cylinder is moving without slipping, and the equation is given as x is equal to a cos omega t. So we know velocity is equal to differential form of x, that is equal to a into omega into cos derivative minus sin omega t, and tangential acceleration is the derivative of v, which can be a omega square cos omega t. Let this one is equation 2. Now substitute equation 2 in equation 1. So tau is equal to half m r a omega square cos omega t, because mod of cos omega t at maximum value is 1. We can write half m r a omega square into 1. So question of maximum, he was in the question he was asked the maximum torque acting on the cylinder. So maximum torque acting on the cylinder is mod tau equal to, so by taking mod, this minus will get cancelled. Mod tau is equal to half m r a omega square. This will be the maximum torque acting on that cylinder. Okay, ma? Good question. That is first question, ma. So we will move to next question. Atwood machine is attached below the left hand pan of the physical balance. So first draw the diagram. Atwood machine. I am going to draw the Atwood machine, ma. 1 minute. Hello. Class for minute. నేను చేస్తాను. Sorry, ma. Okay. I'm drawing the Atwood machine. It will have a mass body M here. Let this mass body be capital M, and you will have a small body, body of mass small m, and this was connected to left pan of the physical balance. Okay, physical balance with equal weights m plus m. This is m, this is small m. So this weight acts vertically downwards as m plus m into g. Okay, right. The beam is horizontal. So this, you are having a beam here. This is horizontal with the mass m and small m on the left hand side are braked. What will happen if the mass capital M and small m are unbraked? That means if they are not braked, if they are in contact, what will happen to the masses capital M and small m on the left hand side? Left hand side means this side. Okay. So question was very interesting question, ma. Initially the system is in equilibrium. So left hand force acting is equal to right hand force acting equal to capital M plus small m into G. But given when LHS is unbraked, what will happen, ma? The mass capital M will move downwards while mass small m will move upwards with some acceleration. Okay, with a particular acceleration. First we have to find that acceleration. So acceleration A is equal to difference of the masses by sum of the masses into G. So tension is equal to M into G plus A. So I can write the force on LHS, that is FL dash, is equal to 2 times of tension, ma, that is equal to this can be written as This can be written as 2m capital M into G by Atwood Mission formula, capital M plus small m. So 2t means 2 into 2, 4. 4 small m into capital M into G by capital M plus small m. Let it be equation number 2. This is equation number 1. This is equation number 2. Now, from 1 into subtracting each other, we will get capital M plus small m into G minus 4 small m capital M into G by capital M plus small m, or by taking LCM I can write capital M plus small m whole square into G minus 4 capital M into small m into G by capital M plus small m, which can be written as a plus b whole square minus 4ab. That means a minus b whole square. So I can write capital M minus small m whole square, or I will write here or I will write here FL minus F dash L equal to capital M minus small m whole square by capital M plus small m. Since the square term is there, it will always greater than or equal to 0. That means FL minus F dash L should be greater than 0. That means FL should be greater than F dash L, or this can be written as F dash L is less than FL. From this from this one you can get a conclusion that the force on left side decreases when masses are unbraked. Therefore, left hand side will move up and right hand side of the physical balance will move down. So this is also an important question, concept based question. You have to be more careful while doing this problem because it was having many variables, right? Next, this one also very important question, block A of mass m and block B of mass 2m are placed on the fixed triangular wedge of means of massless inextensible string. So string is inextensible string and the pulley is frictionless pulley. The wedge is inclined at an angle of 45 degrees on horizontal both sides. The coefficient of friction between block A and wedge is 2 by 3 and block B and wedge is 1 by 3. If the system of A and B is released from rest, we have to find the acceleration of block A, tension in the string, and magnitude of force of friction acting on capital A. So 3 questions we have to find. So let us solve this answer. So in this problem, we're balancing the masses MB minus MA into G sin theta is less than mu B MB plus mu A MA into G cos theta. Okay, that means MB minus MA into sin 45 degrees is less than mu B MB plus mu A MA into G cos 45 degrees, which can be written as MA minus MB minus MA into G sin 45 is 1 by root 2 is less than mu B MB plus mu A MA into G by root 2. Now, first one, we know acceleration of B is equal to acceleration of A, which is equivalent to 0 because they are connected with the same string. Now, second question, for equilibrium of B, 2mg sin theta equal to T plus mu B into 2mg cos theta. From this one I can write tension is equal to, so in place of theta I am writing 45 degrees. So I will get tension is equal to 2mg by root 2 into 1 minus 1 by 3 or 3 minus 1. This can be written as T equal to 2mg by root 2 into 3 minus 1 2. So 2 by 3, or I can write this one as 4mg by 3 root 2. This is the tension. Now coming to third bit, we have to calculate force for mass A. Mass A, tension we got already 4 mg by 3 root 2 up the plane, and mg sin theta equal to sin 45 degrees. Sin 45 degrees is 1 mg by root 2. This was down the plane. So by equating we can write F is equal to 4 mg by 3 root 2 minus mg by root 2. Subtracting we will get 3 mg by mg by 3 root 2. This is the frictional force acting on mass A. Okay, very important question mark. Next, fourth question. A pump motor is used to deliver water at certain rate from a given pipe. To obtain n times of water from the same pipe in the same time, by what amount? First one the force, second one the power of the motor should be increased. Simple question. Let density of a liquid is equal to rho, area of cross section is equal to capital A, speed of water is equal to V. So from this one I can write dm by dt is equal to AV rho. This is equation number 1. In second case, dm by dt whole dash is equal to, you have to get n times of water. So n into dm by dt, or for this one I can write a dash v dash rho dash is equal to n into AV rho. So as pipe and liquid are same, pipe and liquid are same, density will be same and area will be same. So from this formula, a dash v dash rho dash is equal to n a v rho. I can cancel a v rho dash v dash. From this one, simply we will get V dash is equal to N times of V. And we know force formula. Force is equal to variable mass. This is variable mass system. So I can write F is equal to dm by dt. And F dash by F equal to V dash into dm by dt whole dash divided by V into dm by dt. So nv into n into dm by dt divided by V into dm by dt. So I can cancel dm by dt, I can cancel dm by dt, I can cancel V, I can cancel V. So answer is n square. So F dash by F is equal to n square. So required force is equal to n square times of force F. Okay. Now coming to B bit. We know pressure power is equal to force into velocity. So P dash by P equal to F dash V dash by F into V. F dash we got already formula n square F into V dash is n times of V by Fv. Simply Ff Vv will get cancelled. This will become n cube. So P dash by P equal to n cube and P dash will become n cube times of power P. Okay ma? This is also a simple conceptual based question, but you have to know the formula for velocities. We found we are applying here variable mass conditions. So F is not equal to ma here. F is equal to V into dm by dt. You have to remember that one, and you have to do the problem in a sequential way. So coming to fifth question. This is very important question. A person decides to use his bathtub tub of water to generate electric power to run a 40-watt bulb. The bathtub is located at a height of 100 meters from the ground and it holds 200 liters of water. He installs a water driven wheel like a turbine generator on the ground. At what rate should the water drain from the bathtub to light up the lamp? So we have to find the velocity of water, that is dw by dt, and how long should they keep the bulb on? So time of glow of bulb if the bathtub was fully initially. Suppose if you take the bathtub was full in initial case and the efficiency of the generator was given as 90%, we have to take the G value as 9.8 meter per second square. So let m kg of water, solution m kg of water falls from height h. So work is equal to potential energy and mass can be written as volume into density into GH. Therefore, rate of doing work, that is power is equal to dw by dt, that is equal to d by dt of formula for work is we got already V rho gh, that is equal to rho gh are common here, constants, you will get dv by dt. Now efficiency, formula for efficiency eta is equal to power output by power input. This is input power. That means power output is equal to eta times of power input. Okay. Then we have to run a 40-watt bulb. So output power should be 40 watt. Is equal to input power efficiency is 90%. So 90 by 100 into rho gh into dv by dt. From this one, I can write dV by dt is equal to 40 into 10 by 9 into 10 cube into 9.8 into 10 seconds meter cube per second. I am converted liters into meter cube. 1 meter cube is equal to 10 power 3. I think all of you know this one. 1 meter cube is equal to 10 power 3 liters. From this one, I can write dV by dt is equal to 40 by 9 into 9.8, because this 10 will get cancelled. 10 power 8 liter per second. So 10 power 3 was converted into liters liter per second. That is equal to 0.453 liter per second, and V is equal to, I can write further, V is equal to dV by dt into T, so that T is equal to 200 by 0.453, which is equivalent to 441 second. This will be the second part. This is the first part. Okay, very important question and very conceptual based question. Right? Okay, we'll move to next question. A particle of mass m is moving in horizontal circle of radius r under the centrifugal force, which is equivalent to minus k by r. So centrifugal force formula, mv square by r is equivalent to minus k by r square. Here I am taking only the modulus of force, so I can write this one as k by r square, where k is constant. What is the total energy of the particle? Here kinetic energy, we know kinetic energy was given by the formula half mv square. So half mv square is equivalent to k by r square, and F is equal to, again we know F is equal to minus du by dr, or this can be written as U is equal to minus of integral infinity to r into F dr. I am solving this one here. U is equal to minus integral infinity to r minus k by F is equal to minus k by r square dr, taking k outside, integral of infinity to r 1 by r square dr. 1 by r square integral is minus 1 by r, so you will get here minus k by r. So total energy E is equal to U plus k, potential energy plus kinetic energy. Potential energy is minus k by r, kinetic energy is k by 2r. This is not r square, this is 2r. This is k by 2r. Right, k by 2r. So you will get this one as minus k by 2r. So this is the total kinetic energy, this is the total potential energy, and this is the total energy. Simple question. I think all of you understand this one. Now, seventh question was an important question, and also it was a tricky question. A simple pendulum of mass m and length L swings back and forth with a maximum angle of theta naught with the vertical. When at an angle theta, what is its potential energy, kinetic energy, and speed? First, we will draw the diagram. This is the simple pendulum, and let this one is the maximum angle, that is theta naught. Now, in between these two, we are considering a position where angle is theta. So if we consider this part, here kinetic energy will be 0, potential energy will be maximum. If total length of the simple pendulum is L, I can write this part, only this part, as L cos theta naught. And if I consider this part from here to here, this is L cos theta, and here potential energy is 0 and kinetic energy is maximum. Let this point is C, this point is B, this point is A. Let the height of B from C is HB, and from here the height is HA. So drawing figure is very important. This is O. Okay. Now HA equal to L minus L cos theta. From this one I can take out L common, so I will get 1 minus cos theta. Height of B equal to L minus L cos theta. This is theta naught. So again I am taking L common, I will get 1 minus cos theta. Now potential energy at B relative to C will be PE is equal to mgHB, that is equal to mgL into 1 minus cos theta. Potential energy at A, this is B bit. Potential energy at A is equal to mgHA, which is equivalent to mgL into 1 minus cos theta naught, and Ke at A is equal to half mv square. At A maximum position, velocity is 0. Now mechanical energy at A is equal to mgL into 1 minus cos theta naught. Let it be equation 1. Let Kb is the kinetic energy at B, then mechanical energy at B is equal to Kb plus mgL into 1 minus cos theta. Let it be equation number 2. By law of conservation of mechanical energy, I can equate those two equations. So Kb plus mgL into 1 minus cos theta equal to mgL into 1 minus cos theta naught. I can cancel, there is nothing to cancel. So Kb equivalent to mgL, take out mgL common, 1 minus cos theta minus 1 plus cos theta. This is cos theta naught. Minus 1 plus 1 will get cancelled. So mgL into cos theta minus cos theta naught. This is potential energy at B. Now third bit is we have to find the speed. For speed, potential kinetic energy of mv square is equal to total mechanical energy mgL into cos theta minus cos theta naught. From this one I can cancel both sides. V square is equal to 2gL into cos theta minus cos theta naught, or this can be written as V equal to square root of 2gL into cos theta minus cos theta naught. Right, ma? So simple calculation method. You have to know how we are finding H values how you are finding HA, how you are finding HP, what you have was asked. Please read the question 1 or 2 times, then the answer will become very easy for you. Okay. Next, this is very tricky question. One end of the light spring of a natural length d and spring constant k is fixed on a rigid wall, and the other is fixed to smooth ring of mass m, which can slide without friction in a vertical rod fixed at a distance d from the wall. So this can be moved up and down. This is fixed at this end, and the spring makes an angle of 30 degrees with the rod, 37 degrees with the rod. When the system is released from rest, find the speed of the ring. If the system is released from rest, what will be the speed of this ring? Speed of this ring when the spring becomes horizontal. That means the spring has to become in a horizontal plane like this. At this condition, what will be the velocity of the body? Okay. Uh, Answer. Let L equal to stretched length. From the diagram, this is d. From the diagram, I can write d by L equal to cos 37. Cos 37 is 4 by 5. That implies L can be written as 5 by 4 times of d. Next, stretch equal to y, that is equal to L minus d. L means 5 by 4 d minus d, which is equivalent to d by 4. Now AB equal to H equal to L sin 37 degrees, that is L is 5 by 4 d into sin 37 is 3 by 5. These two will get cancelled. We will get 3d by 4. Now we have to take a reference point. Uh, let B, point B is a reference point or reference level. By applying law of conservation of energy at that point, energy of at A is equal to energy at B. Energy of top is equal to energy of bottom. At the top, you are having potential energy plus spring energy plus kinetic energy. At the bottom, you are having spring energy and potential energy as 0. You will have only kinetic energy of mv square. So, substituting the values and simplifying, you will get 3 by 4 mgd plus half k into value of d y is d by 4 whole square is equal to half mv square, or v can be written as, taking these two values here, we can write v is equal to d into square root of 3g by 2d plus k by 16m. That is the velocity of the ring. Okay, ma? Moving to next question. Ninth question. The height of water fall is 50 meters. Calculate the difference between the temperature of water at the top and bottom of fall. He has given Joule's value, Joule's constant, and acceleration due to gravity g value. So simple question. From by when the water comes from top to bottom, there will be loss in mechanical energy, which is equivalent to the gain in potential energy. So we can write here loss in mechanical energy of water is equal to mgh. In joules, I can write this one as mgh by j calories. From the formula W is equal to J into H. Heat gained Q is equal to mc delta theta calories. So loss in Me is equal to mechanical energy is equal to gain in heat energy. Therefore, mgh by J is equal to mc delta theta. From this one I can write delta theta is equal to gh by jc. Now applying the values, delta theta is equal to G value in CS system 980 into height 50 into 10 power 2 centimeters by 4.2 into 10 power 7 into 1, which is equal into 0.49 by 4.2. You will get 0.1167 per degree Celsius. That was the question. There is a temperature difference between the water when it is in highest position to the water in lowest position. Next question. Moving to next question, ma. A neutron decays into proton and an electron and a neutrino. Calculate the energy produced in this reaction in million electron volts. He had given the mass of electron, mass of proton, and mass of neutron. You were saying that mass of neutrino can be considered as 0. So when the particle divides into proton plus electron plus neutron, given mass of neutron is equal to 1.6747 into 10 power minus 27 kg. Mass of proton plus mass of electron is equal to 1.6725 into 10 power minus 27 plus 9 into 10 power 31, which is nearly equal to 1.6734 into 10 power minus 27 kg. And we are having a term mass defect, which we will study in nuclear physics. Mass defect is equal to mass of neutron minus mass of electron plus proton, mp plus me. So you will get here delta m is equal to 1.6747 minus 1.6734 into 10 power minus 27 kg, which is equivalent to 13 into 10 power minus 31 kg. By Einstein's equation, E is equal to delta mc square. Delta m is mass defect 13 into 10 power minus 31, and c square is velocity of light square 3 into 10 power 8 whole square. So by solving, you will get 1.17 into 10 power minus 13 joules, or E can be written as 1.17 into 10 power minus 13 by charge of electron 1.6 into 10 power minus 19, which you will get 0.73 into 10 power 6 electron volt. But question was asked in million electron volts. So 0.73 in place of 10 power 6, I am writing MeV, million electron volts. Okay, students, these are the 10 important questions which I am giving today. Practice all the questions. Don't try to copy the questions. After copying the questions, see how the process was doing, how the calculation was doing. It is very important very important to note the correct formula, very important to note the correct equation. So how I am writing the equations, how I am doing the calculations, you have to see them particularly. Okay, students, bye, take care, prepare well for examinations. Tomorrow we will come with new questions and new concept. All the best, students.